I have a wonderful electronic invention I want you to see. It looks something like this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first ever Be the Story virtual experience. We've talked about doing some kind of virtual event for a while now, and this year we got the extra boost that we needed to make it happen. My name is Johanna Ralston-Cox. I'm the Ministries Director at Miami Youth for Christ. Normally, our Executive Director, Bonnie Rodriguez, would be hosting this event, but she's gonna be joining us via video. Hey, Bonnie, what's up?
Hey, Johanna. I am quarantined. Our family has been exposed to the virus, but I am cozy. I'm on my couch. I've got my Kleenex, my popcorn. I even have my dog with me, and I am excited to watch our first ever virtual Be the Story. I'm also excited you're gonna host it tonight because you're out there in the thick of things, and our young people need us more than ever before during this crisis. Our staff are handing out goodie bags, delivering them to homes. We're distributing food from our city life sites, and we're connecting with kids virtually in every way possible. So I'm excited for you to host tonight, and I'll see you in a bit.
Thanks, Bonnie. So 5 years ago, I was asked to step into this role as the Ministries Director, which has me serving 22 ministry sites across the county. Now, at the time, I was a site director in West Homestead, serving about 150 youth. And while I took this position, in truth, I was obsessed with those kids in that area. And I believed that nobody would ever be able to break my heart or make me smile like they did. But as you're gonna see tonight, the story of Miami YFC isn't confined to one neighborhood or school. It extends across ages, zip codes, and cultures.
Look at them.
Oh, this is, I
mean,
I gotta
really?
put out my A round right
Look.
I'm trying to.
Pay attention to their demeanor, their smiles,
in the house.
their optimism, even nervousness.
How about that?
Okay.
Do you see yourself?
Kind of like hovering over this whole pandemic.
And it'll be like a whole 80-second commercial. I'm like,
I need a break from Carol
you watch
Baskin.
for like another like 5
I had
minutes.
hair. That's the problem.
It's like back to commercials. I'm like, oh my.
Say something.
Yo, mic check 1, 2.
Hey, Kids Club, what time is
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I'm turning dreams into reality.
Well, I see myself being successful, playing ball and fix cars.
I would love to go skydiving, baby.
Get on stage, assume a character.
Me and 4 brothers, so I'm the oldest out of 4.
Think back. If you were to tell your story,
Mom and Dad.
how would it go?
At City Life Kick
It's a lot of frauds.
and subscribe.
It's a lot of frauds. I don't know, that just came like...
Did you have a life before Christ?
Around 16 years old, I tried to kill myself.
When I was 7 years old, my mom left. My brothers, they had a lot of like, Spanish, they say rencor.
So like before we'll go steal a car, we'll plan it out first, then we'll go do what we gotta do to get the car.
Throwing a rock into a man's car and like busting his window.
Old boy left me when I was, I don't know what age, but when I was young.
I got into some really dark places.
It was bad. Like, I ain't trying to go too much into it,
I tried again a few months later, failed, obviously.
but then when he left, I just started robbing people, trying to make money.
We would steal one of our parents' cars to just have fun driving around.
I dealt with a lot of lust. If anything was my vice, that was my vice.
There's no point of me being here. Give up.
And sometimes we would get into a police chase.
Okay, you just said that you stole cars?
I was like either very, very angry or very, very closed off. Like it was either one or the other.
I'm like, man, I'm not even good at dying. Cause that was my mentality. Like, if I can hit a problem away. Like, I can just make the pain go away by causing pain.
Anybody else that was around me, I was like a ticking time bomb. Like little things would piss me off all the time. Upset at everything.
Johanna came and told us the news that my mom got hit.
But I felt like it was a need to try to fill
So we had to stay with different people because my dad's not around.
a female love that I thought was supposed to be there from my mom that I didn't have at a younger age.
And at first I was like in denial. No. My mom didn't get into an accident. I had to see my mom in the hospital.
Now, back to you.
The way to preach is we do it with passion, but we don't let our emotions lead, because sometimes people preach with anger.
Every class should slip us a note. Do you want to go to the program with us? No.
What are you doing? You're gonna burn it. Yo, first off, hold on, chill, okay? What you're saying is not wrong, but the direction that you're doing it also is, you're just gonna drive more people away.
And instead, I've been told for 3 years, like, hey, people love you. People aren't all bad. Like, there are people who will love you. You don't have to guard yourself so much.
So she was like, just come, it's fun, like, I'll be there, it's all right, people are cool there, okay, I'll come. Something's wrong with her. If she think you gonna forgive somebody, it really opened me up to some things that I didn't know I had in myself.
If I wasn't already so deep into campus life, I would have never talked to this guy. I would have never given him the time of my day, and if he tried a couple more times, I would have hit him.
I like it, it's cool. I'll come back.
And I can only give all glory to God because he definitely was there in the midst of everything, even when I didn't know it.
I keep coming back to Project D because it's a fun place. And plus, I really like going there for the staffs.
Love and excitement, like these people gain literally nothing from this decision that I made for my life, except for sharing in the joy, and that was really special.
I wouldn't want to share any moments with people.
Canoeing, kayaking.
Then people invite me over, and there's a lot of times I get in my head, why do you want to invite me? Like, I suck. Like, what really grounded me a lot throughout that time was dance.
Every day is a fun day at camp. At home, I don't know.
When I was in high school, I heard about Catalyst. I just never had a ride. I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna read one verse a day and figure it out, but I don't know what this is. And ain't nobody tell me, and there's different translations, right? I was like, what? Huh? I'm reading the hardest one.
Like, who's gonna take care of us? Who's gonna take us in? Because there was 4 of us. There was real people there to help us, Stacy and Johanna.
I looked across the courtroom when the judge told me I had to sit in there. Then I looked back at my peoples, and then my sister just went to cry. And I looked back at her, and I was just want to shake my head like, I can't keep living this lifestyle.
I would have tried to fight him instead of listen to him. Knowing my personality back in the day, I would have thrown hands at that point. Like, you're annoying me. I'm gonna hit you till you stop talking to me. Constantly be told, like, hey, God loves you. And he goes, but you're still here. And that means something. Whether you like to admit it or not, it means something. You're not here for no reason. Use this. And that's when he asked me, like, do you want to put your trust in him? I didn't want to hold on to that sadness anymore, so I gave it to God. Turns out it was awesome.
Kicks is not the building. Kicks is like the people in the building. Don't be afraid to go in our fridge. Don't be afraid to ask us for something. It made me feel like I really fit in, and Kicks was really my family. They made us feel comfortable in their home. It was really amazing to see people there, like, to help you and stuff. So, yeah.
Why are you getting emotional right now? Like, what's going through your head? It's okay. And even after I accepted him, I still did stupid stuff. I still messed up. I'm still to this day messing up. But it's his grace.
So my mom really not having the money at the time. One day they came up to me out of the blue. Do you want to go to camp? We have a spot left. Do you want to go?
I would say the hardest thing of doing time was not being with my family. Watching them not being there. Watching them see me in jail.
Well, I'm getting emotional because it was a really hard time. I do not like crying.
Really, they changed my life. They really changed.
I was super surprised that all these people around me were always there.
God can use anything to reach anybody.
They just put a lot of thoughts into me. And when I got out, I was still going. I was texting Angel and Ronnie, is we still going to Project D?
I never really experienced that.
A whole new person walked out of that camp. The biggest thing happened to me and I was still in shock by it.
What if YFC never existed? What if YFC didn't exist?
I know this is hard for you to imagine, but what if Kicks did not exist?
If there was no Catalyst, if there was no YFC, if that didn't even exist, not even...
If,
What if this never existed?
That is a good question. What if YFC never existed in Miami? One thing's for sure, the stories you're hearing today about how, through some connection at YFC, Jesus became real for someone would never have been told. Without YFC in Miami, thousands of unique youth would not have had a place to belong, to make true friends, be challenged to grow into leaders, and discover a God that goes beyond the stereotype they assumed to be true.
Many people, when it comes to knowing, oh, you're a Christian, oh, so you're very religious, and I don't know what he's talking about, I ain't religious. I was like, I got a relationship with God. Like, and that same relationship I got, you can have it too.
Well, if YFC didn't exist, I probably still would have been out in the streets doing what I do.
You would see my face on the news, locked up or either ran away.
I think I wouldn't really know about God at all. The people at Kicks got me connected to God and got me connected to a church and stuff.
And I remember him talking about how persistent God is, right? How he's always present, he's always there, he loves you, he cares for you, he chases after you. And I remember saying in my head, man, I wish someone was like that for me.
This is not like preparing for a hurricane. The coronavirus, COVID-19, is unpredictable.
In a world where anything could happen.
Therefore, I am declaring an emergency closure of all schools.
We begin our program with broken hearts in yet another deadly school shooting. Oh my God! 17 people. A suspect is alive in custody.
You're lost. You're not in your head. Like, you can't, how you...
And normal ceases to be?
Can I hug him?
As long as you...
Yes, I love you too, bro. I know what you've gone through. I'm sorry. That's okay, bro.
Could YFC be a constant? Not just a system. Systems don't save people. A personal God does. But could we make sure that the telling of that truth continues? That the one-on-one delivery method required for such a truth to sink in continues. Grace, redemption, the message of a personal relationship deserves to be delivered within the context of its own personal relationship, with an actual voice, through an actual conversation. The reality is that although we are reaching thousands, that is still only a fraction of the total youth in Miami-Dade County. Think about that. The number we have not reached. The thought of that should break our hearts. We could sit back and despair, or we could decide that we will make it happen, that it's on us. For some strange reason, God has decided to use people as the medium by which his kingdom on earth is established. Why waste time trying to understand how that works when it is clear that we should just go? Our time, talents, treasures will never be wasted in service to the upcoming generation. God is moving in the lives and hearts of the youth in our neighborhoods, our schools, our detention centers. They are more curious than ever and willing to hear. With your help, no matter what happens in our time, in our city, in our story, we can, together, make sure that Miami Youth for Christ will always be around.
The youth in this city can and will break your heart. I remember the first time I went into a detention mod and talked to DeMarcus, and he told me about how he just needed a little weed and alcohol at night to help him sleep over the sounds of police sirens and fighting in his neighborhood. And my heart started to break for kids in Brownsville and Liberty City. I remember going to a campus life club, and Lacey showed up late to meet with her boyfriend and ended up telling me about how her mom had recently remarried, and the man did not want Lacey around, and so she'd been forced to move in with her alcoholic father. And my heart started to break for kids living in Kendall and Westchester. And I'll never forget chasing Soul down the hallway at our Catalyst after school program as she angrily shouted at me that she didn't want to have anything to do with God or people who cared about God. And I could feel the anger and the pain radiating off her. And my heart started to break for kids in Miami Springs and Doral and Hialeah. In the past 5 years, Miami YFC has been able to expand our reach. We've moved from 7 to 22 sites, and from serving roughly 2,000 youth per year to 3,500 unique kids that we know by name. And that's something we celebrate, and we're praising God for that. But at the same time, it's a really stark reminder to me that we are only reaching about 1% of the city's overall youth population. We have a long way to go before every child has the opportunity to know about the grace and love of Jesus Christ. There are so many stories yet to be written, yet to be told. What can we do?
How did it come to this? What vicious cycle was fed all these years?
I had mastered the perfect art of smiling so that tears won't fall. It hurt more than I ever thought.
What potential remained trapped in darkness for lack of? Have we been too blessed to remember that we too needed a savior? That we too were once in darkness and without hope?
Be careful who you make memories of them, 'cause they can't last forever. Now I wish I had amnesia. I wish I could forget you. I should have listened to my mama, but all I have are bad memories. I wish I had a bad memory, but all I got are bad memories of you.
He entered into the mess when he didn't have to. So shouldn't we do the same? How can we reverse engineer the good life in Christ? Can we ask, what's the story behind this, or that, or this? And then get to work on writing that story into existence. It's like God has given us a vision of where the story could go with beginning, ending, hero, and all, but he's letting us write in the details. The how, the where, the who. So what story will you help write in Miami? The difference lies in you.
We can't write the story of Miami without you. And that's why we're linking arms with folks across the city to shape this story. This year, we partnered with businesses and church leaders as part of the Explore God campaign, and we trained over 600 leaders in sharing their faith. We also serve on the County Board of Together for Children, which is aimed at reducing gun violence and strengthening families. We partner with churches, nonprofits, and other Christian organizations to more effectively reach schools, take kids to camp, and train church leaders. And this year, we're renewing our contracts with the Department of Juvenile Services and the Miami-Dade County School Board so that we can more effectively help youth know hope and purpose. Bonnie, I'd love to know what you're thinking.
I am so glad I had my Kleenex. What a powerful opportunity to rewrite a young person's story. I began volunteering with YFC in 1992, and I'm still here, even though I'm on my couch 28 years later, because seeing that happen in a young person's life is absolutely thrilling, and it's really addictive. These stories, though, can only happen when people decide to champion our mission. And last year, 2 significant champions went to be with the Lord. Through the generosity of one man, John Thatcher, and one woman, Jackie Eads, literally thousands of young people's stories were rewritten over the last 40 years. Combined, they donated 18% of our annual budget. But my question today, watching this, is who's going to be the story writers for the next 40 years? Who's going to make that difference? If you watched this presentation and your soul was stirred for young people, then I think God's calling you to be that story writer. And we can't do it without financial partners. We need people to give monthly to make the day-to-day operations run consistently. Our young people need us more than ever, and they need us to help rewrite their stories. You can give securely and easily online. You can do a one-time pledge. You can even make a pledge to give at a future date. Any amount can make a difference. You can even mail a check, or you can call our office, and you can make your donation over the phone. We cannot do it without you. If you already give to Youth for Christ, then I just want to let you know from the bottom of my heart how grateful I am and how grateful our kids are. You are making a difference. But if you can do more, you would definitely help us to bridge a gap. So I'd ask you to prayerfully consider that. Now more than ever, we need you to help us bring the life-changing gospel to every single young person. I hope you'll decide to join us.
God is moving in the hearts and lives of youth. They are open and willing to hear. But the question is, who will go and who will tell them? How will you answer that call today? Thank you so much for joining us for our first ever virtual Be the Story. Chat hosts are going to be available for the next few minutes if you have any questions, and you can also visit our website to learn more about donating, volunteering, or to find contact information for our ministry model directors. And for the first 100 people who become new monthly donors or give $100 or more, we will send you our latest Miami Youth for Christ t-shirt. Stay healthy, stay safe, and thank you for being the story.